Welcome back, YouTube. It is the Drunk Capitalist here again today, and I have some more things to talk about. So, as you can see from the title of this video, Beyonce is not Kanye. Like, they have quite similar careers, and given that they've both worked with the billionaire himself, Jay-Z, we can see that they dabble in a lot of different of the same type of business and commerce, shows, concert tickets. They both do music, they both do fashion, and they have a lot of fans. They're both billion-dollar brands. Well, Kanye, formerly a billion-dollar brand. But the whole point of my video today is the fact that Adidas is losing a lot of money on both of these artists, right? And for different reasons, right? So Kanye is Kanye, and he has a tendency to mess up deals off of things that he says, which is how he ends up in this Adidas deal and losing it. So let's get right into that. So Adidas could lose more than $1 billion in revenue as Yeezy shoes go unsold. So right now, because of the abrupt ending of their contract, Yeezy sneakers can't be sold by Adidas. They obviously have to give him kickback if they do sell the shoes, but I think they're more worried about the effects of its social effects that would happen if they were to sell those sneakers freely, right? So Adidas split from rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye, could cost the company some big bucks. The German sportswear company said Thursday that it could lose about $1.3 billion in revenue in 2023 if it's unable to sell its existing Yeezy inventory, and operating profit would fall by $535 million. So what they're attempting to do right now is sell the Yeezy products without the Yeezy name, and there's no evidence that actually works. Adidas cut ties with Ye last October because of his anti-Semitic remarks on social media and ended the production of the Yeezy branded products. At the time, the company called Ye's comments unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous. If you remember that time, I did report on it slightly. If you remember that time, it took them a while to cut ties. Like, so many companies cut ties with him way before they cut ties. Like, it took them a while to actually, like, publicly announce that they were severing ties, because we know they looked at the numbers first. Like, let's be real, they never broke ties with him on anything else that he said on that long, rant that he went on. He clearly was having some type of bipolar episode, and they didn't cut ties with him on any of the other things that he said. Once he said the anti-Semitic remarks, is when they finally cut ties with him, because obviously Adidas has a history. We don't gotta get into it. They're a German company, you already understand. And I don't even think that has much to do with their decision. I feel like regardless, they would have had to make the decision anyway, like other companies had to. So the company faces an operating loss of $750 million in 2023 if it can't repurpose the products and writes off existing Yeezy inventory. We are currently not performing the way we should. The problem is that Adidas invested a lot in the Yeezy brand, and the Yeezy brand grew Adidas like huge. Like, it made Adidas so freaking big, and Kanye understands his value. No matter how wild crazy he is, that is one person that you cannot convince them that they're not worth more, right? So him getting a big head and the company growing so big, and a large portion of their profit depended on the Yeezy brand, when they had to cut ties, it hurt them. It hurt them so bad. But then that gets me to my next point. We have Beyonce, who's still signed to Adidas, who is arguably one of the biggest artists ever, right? But Beyonce doesn't seem to be able to sell clothing. So Beyonce's Ivy Park Adidas clothing line is reportedly losing money for the sportswear brand. A clothing line with Adidas, Ivy Park missed internal sales projections by $200 million last year, reported Wednesday, though the superstar singer is still earning $20 million a year from the deal. So she only earns $20 million from Adidas for a year on this Adidas deal, Ivy Park. And obviously the sales have been slipping. But the reason I think that the sales slip is Not because Beyonce isn't a great person, but for the most part, her clothing, streetwear, whatever you may have, you doesn't really connect to the audience in the way that it does with Yeezy. People follow the Yeezy story because it's a long battle between Kanye and manufacturing. People love the person that wants to be a designer. Kanye actually interned with Louis Vuitton. He did all these things because he actually wants to be a designer, actually wants to sell clothing, actually wants to design clothing. And furthermore, when you see Kanye, you see Yeezy because Kanye wears Yeezy. It's so, he makes it such a part of who he is that he marries Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian wears Yeezy. They have kids, their kids wear Yeezy. Not the same for Beyonce. Beyonce is already unrelatable as a human being, right? No one thinks they're Beyonce. She's Beyonce. There's no other word to describe her other than her own name. So it's kind of like she's already unrelatable, and then we don't really see her much. And when we do see her, it's not like she's in Adidas Ivy Park. She's just not, right? So she's not really building the hype and creating the culture of clothing around her. The Beyonce culture is slaying, and it's very much a woman-centered thing. Like when we think of Beyonce, we don't really think of men that much. We think of women. So even though the Ivy Park collection has male items and has unisex items as well, you don't really see dudes talking about, oh yeah, I'm about to cop some Ivy Park. And once you alienate, I feel like half the gender spectrum is kind of like, it gets rough. And then furthermore, the designs aren't really that much to talk about. It's very sporty. It's cool. I find a lot of the items very cool. It's very Adidas. But if you don't have the people wearing it that you need to have wearing it in order for it to become a social media phenomenon, then it kind of slips through the cracks. And I think that's what happens with Ivy Park, because it just is what it is. And furthermore, it's like Beyonce doesn't really have an incentive, really. Even with the $20 million, she doesn't really have an incentive. She just got paid $20 million to sing one night in Dubai. She's getting $20 million a year for the Adidas deal. She doesn't really have to show up for that, now does she? You have to keep it real. But as far as Adidas, actually, for them to regain some of that money, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's that hard to sell Yeezys. Now, we already know they can't sell Yeezys on the Adidas landing page, but there's other ways to sell Yeezys. Come on now. Like, Kanye aside, we're talking about just his clothing items. We're talking about the Yeezy collection. People still buying Yeezys, bro. People would still buy Yeezys. If it was on the Adidas landing page, people would still buy it because people do like the Yeezy brand. They do like the items, the clothing, the shoes. Like, people love it. It has always sold out. And it's still selling. Let's take a look at StockX right now. You go on StockX and you go on Yeezy, you find some Yeezys right now, right? It's still selling. And it's funny because StockX is not saying, oh, we refuse to sell any Yeezy branded item. They're not being held to the same standard that an Adidas like company is being held to. They're not being held to that standard. They're just a resale site. If you want it, come get it. So I feel like this is where Adidas could really slip a few through the cracks. Like, I would do it if I was them, and I have millions of dollars worth of Yeezys. I'm slipping them through Grailed. I'm slipping them through StockX. I'm slipping them through what's the other one? GOAT. I'm dropping them off at these consignment shops. I'm doing what I gotta do. Like, you look, the Yeezys are still selling. One of the most popular shoes right here, the Yeezy 700 Wave Runners, right? Very popular shoe. Last sale, $390. They originally retailed for $300. So whoever sold this, that's some profit. You know, StockX takes some of that profit, but it was about a $90 profit on the shoe. StockX takes a percentage of that, I think 15%. And, you know, that's how it's going. You can see the prices here of like what sizes are going for what prices. And to say it's not selling, oh, it's a Yeezy, I'm not going to buy it. Unless people are saying that if you buy Yeezy or you wear Yeezy, that you're also a mad person, like a anti whatever person, then there's no real reason for you to not buy something that you like just because the creator has fallen from favor. So let's view the sales. So today, February 14th, it is Valentine's Day. They got sales. 6 pairs sold today. Look how many pairs sold yesterday. On the 13th. All these sales. So I'm giving it the fact that this single shoe on this single website probably makes over 100 sales per month, right? Probably 1,200 for the year will be selling these shoes, right? And then Yeezy has so many shoes. I can't even say if it's 100 or 75 or 200 different shoes. There's so many shoes for sale in different sizing, kids, women's, boots, not boots, short boots, tall boots, sneakers, croc looking things that were computer generated and printed. All these things are having sales. Like, people are still buying them over retail. Adidas actually has the opportunity to sell these shoes over retail. They just play a little dirty. I wouldn't fault them for it. They lost the deal abruptly due to extenuating circumstances. I think they should be able to sell those things, you know, the old-fashioned illegal way, I guess. To the streets, to the black market, if you will. But, like, let's get back to Beyonce. Because although people aren't buying her clothing, they're not buying Ivy Park, they're not sold on Ivy Park, everyone is sold on the Beyonce concert experience. And this is where the junk capitalist has to say, where are we headed with this? This is crazy. So, Beyonce fans are the latest to be fleeced by huge ticket fees. As customers buy up tickets for the Renaissance tour, some have shown fees for as much as $500 per ticket. Beyonce tickets, crazy. So, as fans anxiously waited online looking to secure tickets to Queen Bee's upcoming Renaissance tour, the high price of ticket fees is once again a groan-inducing discussion among ticket buyers, as they have no choice but to swallow the hefty added cost if they want to see her show. Some customers who bought VIP packages for the tour, already among the priciest and highest quality experiences at the venue, saw service fees as high as $550, about a 15% service fee, atop the $3,757 the customer already spent on their seat. The most expensive tickets, of course, will also catch the most eye-popping fees. Among the more affordable seats, one customer screenshot detailed a $43.90 service fee for a $162, about a 27% fee, plus another $8 for the facility charge. An initial look at fees suggests the Renaissance tour isn't much worse than the usual on sale for a tour of this size, with some of the prices fans have shared online reflecting somewhere between 15 to the upper 20% fees on Ticketmaster. Rather, it's just the latest and the most common complaint amongst customers. Common complaint customers have as pay even more at checkout for what may have already been a major purchase. Ticketing fees aren't uniquely Ticketmaster issue. The fees for some tickets listed on resale platforms like StubHub and Vivid Seats have come close to 30%. That's 30% is crazy. That's 3 for every $10. That's too crazy. But Ticketmaster and its parent company, Live Nation Entertainment, have faced increased scrutiny from federal regulators over allegations that the company functions as a live music monopoly. Ticketmaster has repeatedly refuted allegations that it squashes competition regarding the fees. In particular, Live Nation Entertainment President and CFO Joe Berger told regulators during the Senate Judiciary hearing on the live music business last month that venues typically set the fees and the Ticketmaster's portion of service fees has fallen. We don't gotta talk about that part. What I really want to get into though is the ticket prices for Beyonce's tickets are ranging, they say it's ranging from like $150 to like $3,000. Okay. That's the original ticket price, right? And then there are the fees for purchasing the ticket that Ticketmaster charges, service fees, whatever. Then a lot of those tickets are being purchased by resellers, the same way sneakers and clothes are purchased by resellers and then sold at a premium. But they're sold on Ticketmaster, right? So when they're sold on Ticketmaster, I'm pretty sure people have to pay that service fee again. Like, right? So the next person that buys it to pay a service fee. So now this is why there's a whole racket. But how does all of this pertain to Beyonce and my conversation with Beyonce? Well, it really doesn't have to do with Beyonce, but it has to do with you, the consumer. Beyonce tickets are costing $2,000. That's a lot of people's rent. Then you're paying a service fee. Can be up to $500, right? How are you affording this? Well, now you have players like buy now, pay later players that are getting into this, and they're saying, hey, most people can't afford $2,000 tickets to see Beyonce, but they're gonna still want to go to the Beyonce concert, right? And they're gonna still want to record it for the gram and show everybody that they're at the Beyonce concert, right? So don't worry, you can split up the payments. Buy now, pay later for concerts. Like concert edition. Like there's not going to be an end to this whole type of scheme, and I feel like you have to be bigger than what people are throwing in front of you as opportunities, as fun, as eventful, as FOMO. You don't want to miss out on this. It's not worth it because of it, all those fees combined, because buy now pay later is also going to charge you a fee to finance that purchase. They're fronting your Beyonce tickets. They're going to want to get paid, right? So now you're putting $2,000-$3,000 on a buy now pay later, and they're going to charge you, who knows, 20% for that? No. Like now you're paying $3,000+, right? So I just find the whole thing to be crazy. Personally, I feel like, with that aside, with the consumer aside, with the businesses in focus now, a lot of the businesses have opportunities to sell to consumers at lower prices. They have opportunities to just sell to consumers, period. And at the same time, some companies feel like they can monopolize, such as Live Nation, i.e. Ticketmaster. But there are people coming. There are competitors coming to change the game. Ticketmaster will not be up to this for very long. I know for a fact that some large companies are coming to eat a piece of this pie as well. And that's going to be better for the consumers, right? When there is more competition in the capitalist system. The more competition you have, it drives down the prices. But once you eliminate the competition, it drives up the prices, right? So with all that said, now I'm just rambling. I hope you can afford to see Beyonce, but if you can't afford to see Beyonce, just don't go. Wait for the Ivy Park stuff to go on sale. And if you want Yeezys, you can get Yeezys. Just go on StockX. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.